Before today's video starts, I want to mention that according to YouTube statistics, only about 23% of all the people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. If you end up liking today's video, please consider subscribing. After all, it's free and you can always change your mind and enjoy the video. I have a Patreon now, it's down there in the description. There are quite a few tiers, go check it out. It will help me out a lot if you decide to support me. On to the video then. Alright, so it's been a while. Yeah, let's save it. So as you can see, I'm currently working on my piece of software over here. It's a little bit of a mess right now, but what I'm planning on doing is I'm adding a button that will say start, and it will start the second form, which will have just the camera and then with the camera name, so that you can move just that one piece of that software and use only that, because it looked otherwise ugly in my opinion. And I also managed to lower the overall CPU usage. Now in the last video I did mention that this software uses quite a bit of CPU, but it's not the case. I tested it outside with a separate form, and it seems that by putting it into a separate form and with these threads in here, which I added recently, it's able to scale a bit more across all 4 of my threads. Now don't worry, I tested it on a virtual machine with just 2 threads and it worked fine. So you don't have to worry about the thread count here. It will be just quad threaded. I may add a few more just in case, but it's not a perfect solution. It's still going to use a fair bit of CPU power, but it's using only in my case, in my system, about 5 to 10% of CPU, which is actually really acceptable. Now since I'm recording, now only the recording by itself is taking 58% of my CPU, but you have to bear in mind that I have a code editor open, a web browser open with research. So, and I also tried implementing a few more OpenCL stuff in here and a few more other things. I still am not familiar with OpenCL or OpenGL, so that's something I need to get familiar with. But as of now, I'm trying to make it so that I can actually use this form as the form for the webcam. I already have the base code implemented, but I want to take the name of this form and set it as the new device name, which I already did. So it's implemented in here right now. So the only thing left for me to do is that I have to go in here and make it so that once it loads and once you click that button, once you click the button, that it opens the second form with the name in it. So you select your camera here, and then you pick the camera, click the button. It's going to start a separate form with it. That's actually my plan for it right now. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Alright, so actually before I do this, I am hoping that now what I did is so basically here's what I did. So what you see me do just now was I implemented taking the information from the camera. So it's not gonna take anything unless I click that button. And to show you this, I have here this handy dandy CPU meter. I'm using a fair bit of RAM and stuff, so ignore that. But if I'm going to build this now and run this, hopefully it's gonna work. I'm not really sure, this is my first time trying this. I already did some work previously and I explained it all, so I'm hoping that this will work just fine. So let's see how it goes. So what should happen is it should pop up with just one form, the first one. Oh, I should probably set the size statically. Yeah, let me do that instead. Why can't I exit it? Oh, let me guess, it's going to run it in the debug mode. Yeah, it's because I'm using a VAST, so it's kinda broken. So let me do that real quick. Oh yeah, of course, we've got an error. Yeah, sounds like fun, doesn't it? I actually have to copy this and just get rid of it fully because it was causing problems. It didn't actually launch until I did that, so I'm gonna have to make it so that if this gets closed, so it closes that as well, which will take a bit of time. I think it should be easy to do it here, as here, and there should be where is it? That's shown, that's behavior, form closed. Oh, nice. And if the form is closed, it's going to stop it. So that's a good implementation, I think. It's not perfect, I know that, but I'm hoping that this will make it so it can like load properly. So yeah, and also I need to change here in the design so it keeps its static size so it doesn't change, because what you have noticed probably is that it doesn't look good when I open it, so I'm gonna have to fix that real quick. I think all I have to do here is set the maximum and minimum sizes statically, and I'm gonna save that. And over here on the form 2 design, I'm gonna do the same thing. So where is it? Here are the properties, and let's do it over here as well. I'm going to set a static size so that it doesn't change. Oops, there we go. And let's see if it works this time around. It should work, but you know, it's something that I totally did not expect. So then again, I'm trying to make it okay. And of course it's run within Avast. No, it's not. So it should, there we go. So we have this eazycam software. We're seeing around 61% CPU usage, 78, 66. But bear in mind that it's only taking 1 to 2% more, or to 5% more. So that's fine. So only 5% of CPU. That's not much. If we click start, it did nothing. Alright, so I'm back at it again. I managed to finally finish building the application itself. It took a while. It's still a bit finicky. There are still some things I need to make sure that they work first, and that is I'm going to possibly make it into sort of a checkbox or something. I'll explain as I launch the software, but basically what's going on here is I have the app finished. The main difference between the previous version and the version I have now is that you have this startup window and you have to choose your device. In my case it's only one camera. I'm going to link the source code in the description where it will be on my GitHub. You will have to change one thing, at least as of this version of the software. Soon there will be updated version that I will release where you wouldn't have to do this if I figure out a better way of managing all of this. So you pick your camera. For me, I have this screen recording thing on my camera here, and what it should do is it should launch a second form with the camera running. As you can see, it's running right now. It's on a separate thing, and the coolest thing is I don't even have to think where I want to put it. I'm over there on the left top corner right there. You can see me, over there, and it runs, which is really cool. Now I should change the name from form to just to camera, possibly. Who knows, maybe I will do it. But the way I did it to parse data between these forms is that I'm using a text file, and the text file gets loaded with the information. So to show you this, it creates a text file inside of here, and once you open this, it will have the name of your camera that you've picked, and you'll have to change this. The way you know to what you wanna do, what you have to change it to is really simple. You just open the application, there we go, took a while, and you click this drop down menu, and then you see the names of all your input devices, and you want to pick the one that you want to record or take the information from. So once you select it and click start, it's going to write it to the file, but it won't know what to write it to, so it's not gonna work the first time you launch it. So when you launch it for the first time, you want to pick the camera you want, and you want to copy this, then you want to kill the app, you want to go in here and change this and rebuild this. Now, it's not ideal, it's the very first version. I'm going to make it so you can pick your device. I'm possibly gonna do it with checkboxes and then just check the states, so that it writes just the name of your camera into it instead of checking it. So, based on which one you pick, it will write the name of the camera into the text file, and then it's going to compare it. It won't be ideal. I have it made so it reads from the text file and compares it to the device name later. So the only way that I'm able to know which camera you want to use as of now is that you'll have to change it manually. I'm going to upload it with the source code so you guys can try it, and it's not perfect. However, there will be a updated version of it. So once you launch it and you've changed the name, come on, it's going to load. It takes a while, has quite a bit of stuff in there. As of now, it doesn't use that much memory, but it's going to use way more memory later on. So you want to pick your camera, click start. It's going to use up a lot more memory now. As you can see, it's climbing up. Then you want to move it to a place. Now it's going to consume quite a bit of memory, but it's going to cap out at a certain point, so it's not always the exact same. There are still some latency problems I wasn't able to fix, but as you can see, we're consuming around 260 megabytes of RAM, and the coolest thing is the camera stays in place, so it's my own made up version of it, because I wasn't able to find anything simple, anything that's easy to use. Now it does take a little bit of CPU power, but it's way less than it was before, so it's still far better than anything else. You can see that it's actually better now than it was before. We're not consuming that much, we're using around 23% of all the processors, so that's a really neat thing. It kind of lags right now because I'm trying to do way more than I'm trying to task my computer with, but there you go. I cannot kill it, that's cool. Yeah, there you go, it's running, it's fully functional to kill it, so that's why it scaled down. So I'm trying to launch it again. It'll take a little while to launch. and you want to just pick your camera and click start. It's going to start it up, it's going to push the image into it, and then you can like talk about your code and such. You can place it wherever you want. I was originally planning on forcing a separate position, but with all the things that have been happening, it's not ideal. So I don't mind having it here. All I have to do if I want to show some code, I just have to move this away from under the camera, and I can show you the code or talk about the code itself, which it works. It's good enough. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. And that's only because I wasn't able to figure out a easier method of making this happen. I'm pretty sure that a lot more people will be able to point me into the right direction with that. If you want to try it out, there will be a link in the description. If you want to help improve the software, it's up to you. If you want to make your own rendition of this, again, it's all up to you. All you have to do, however, before you start with this, is you want to go into your Solution Explorer, right click the solution, and no, it's not that. You want to right click this name of the solution and go to you should have to manage your NuGet packages. So I'm gonna kill it now, but basically what you want to do is right click and you will see manage NuGet packages once you get the source code, and it's going to send you over here where you can browse. And the things you want to install are aforge, and I have all these system runtime things here. Some of them need to be updated, but some of these are OpenCL. That's because I was trying to implement something that did not end up working. But all you pretty much have to have here is aforge installed with aforge video direct show, aforge video, aforge math, aforge imaging, and aforge itself. Once you have all of these main ones installed, you don't have to have all of these other ones since I'm not using them as of now. And once you have all of these, you wanna select which application they go to. So for example, let's say I wanted to install something, for example, this .NET JSON thing. Well, for example, this, I would, well, I don't know, just to be some sort of a library. But basically, when I pick a framework, when I click install, and it will ask you to which project you want to add it to, and you want to add it to the project. Again, you may or may not have to do this since it already pushed everything into here, so I should have everything in here. Yeah, everything is in the references already, so I don't think you will have to have it like that, but that's something I had to do. So just install aforge and you should be ready to go. So ignore all these other packages I have here. So when I just install aforge, it's going to update everything, and then you want to add it as aforge video direct show, and you should be good to go basically. And you should be able to like use this app just fine, just like I was able to. So you're just going to run the app. You can also run it outside of this if you don't really need to run it like I'm running it. So as of now, I just select the webcam and it's going to automatically pick it for you. It's still a bit finicky. So when I just hide the second window, and there you go. So that's it. I want to thank all of you guys for joining me today. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I hope to see all of you beautiful people next time.